Alright.
Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy KC. You already know on this beautiful Wednesday night. Um, Starting in some fall weather, cool down a little bit. Perfect football weather, so we're gonna get into some football tonight for sure, man. Before I get started, y'all, you already know how we do it. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Titletown TV on YouTube and Facebook, which we're live from right now. Please go do that for me right now, and please like and follow myself, Titletown TV KC underscore Titletown TV underscore KC on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all the good stuff, and also follow us on Apple Podcast and Google and Spotify as well. I got my boy TK in the house with me tonight, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. How you? I'm doing good, bro.
Man. Awesome streamer, man. He streams Madden, GTA sometimes, a little basketball too, right?
Yeah, in Fortnite.
In Fortnite. Yes, sir,
Yeah.
man. Y'all go follow him, man. Let me know where to follow you at.
Go follow me on. Go add me. If you could add me on Facebook, go follow me on Facebook at TK Jackson. Go follow me on TikTok, TK Jackson 7. Go follow me on. Go subscribe to my YouTube, King Jackson Gaming. Twitch is the same as my YouTube. Instagram, I'm not too big on Instagram, but I don't have an Instagram for it right now. But yeah, those are my social medias right now. Go follow me on those platforms. Man, it's going up this year, man.
Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Talk a little football with me tonight. But you already know we here for, bro. We are both Alabama fans, Tuscaloosa residents, and myself. I know you're out in Pickens County. But yeah, man, Alabama pulled it out somehow, some way against South Florida, 17-3, man. It was a controversial game going into it with Jalen Merrill not being a starter.
Yeah.
Tommy Buckner ended up getting the start over Jalen Merrill. But he was eventually replaced by Ty Simpson, and I think third quarter. Ty Simpson finished the game for us. He played all right, but let's go ahead and get into Tommy Buckner, man. Tommy Buckner did not show that he deserved starting over Jalen Merrill. He was 5 of 14, 34 yards, no touchdowns. How you feel like he fared against South Florida, Tommy Buckner? How you feel like his night went?
He to me I just felt like he was just overhyped too much coming in to this season as it is. He wasn't ready for the SEC play. He's not ready for the SEC play yet. He gotta play. He gotta show me. He gotta show me something in the big time game to let me know that he's ready. Because playing like he did against South Florida, I don't think he's ready for that.
No,
he
man.
just got completely thrown in there.
He certainly wasn't ready for Texas, who we ended up losing to, which was the game everyone considered Jalen didn't play that well against. Also, we got Ole Miss this weekend, and so replacing him right before SEC opener, it tells you he probably wasn't ready for SEC play. Maybe another year in that Alabama system with his former OC at Notre Dame, Tommy Reese. He might can do some things, but next year we know we got Jalen Saying coming in, true freshman quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the 2024 class coming next year. So hopefully we can have a great, awesome recruiting class to get us back on top in the future, man. Let's talk a little bit about Ty Simpson. He was 5 for 9, 79 yards. He was sacked 5 times, which is regardless who's back there, quarterback, the offensive line still not protecting him, but he was able to drive down and give us a rushing touchdown. Those 5 completions look really good, man. I'm glad Ty Simpson.
Yeah, he was definitely on the money in it. He was definitely on the money with it. If he could be more consistent with his passing, just like Jalen Milroe, if he could be more consistent with it, I think he'll be a clear number 2 option at quarterback right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my in my in
I'm
my
glad it says
opinion.
that. They came out today and said Ty Simpson is the backup running back. I remember Jalen saying that to our group chat on Instagram. But yeah, man, Ty Simpson going into the next weekend against Ole Miss. We'll be backing up Jalen Miro, which was well deserved. And Jalen Miro did not play that horrible against Texas. I'm not sure what happened during practice or whatever. I wasn't there to see what happened during practice or after the game or anything like that against Texas. But he played pretty solid, man. The offensive line didn't protect him. It was some snaps that got away from the center. Receiver wasn't getting open, and some of the times the way he did throw a touchdown pass, you can call back because the O line was holding. Our
Yeah,
safety hold somebody, but at the same time, if we come up the field, 3-and-outs and turnovers, whatever offense, the defense is gonna be tired, man. They every 3
they
or
were
4
they defense, and it really showed like throughout the last two games that we played. Like it showed all these turnovers that we are getting. Defense, they was gassed before the second half even started. They were
Right,
gassed.
right, right. The defense got to help the offense. The offense got to help the defense, man. The longer we on the offense is on the field, the better the defense is gonna play, man. Which we got a lot of. We held the ball a lot, despite poor quarterback play.
Yeah,
Our run game got going this weekend. I'm so proud of our run game. Ran over 200 yards between Roydell Williams and Jace McClellan. Roydell had 129 yards and a touchdown. Jace McClellan contributed 74 yards on the ground. So we got the run game going. So I think if we continue to run the ball, do some play action, some boots, get Jalen Murray moving on the move, throwing the ball on the run a little more. I think we're gonna have a great chance to do some great things down the line, especially as we enter SEC play, man. With Ole Miss this weekend.
yeah. Oh man, but Ole Miss gonna give us they gonna give us a fight. They give us a
Oh,
fight
sure.
every year. They gonna give us that. Like I was telling J Rock the other day, and I like you seen it in the group. Like in our group chat, I said every dog has his day,
Right.
and UCF showed us like they wasn't no pushover. They wasn't no bitch. They showed us and
Right.
they gave us that damn fight.
Yeah, man.
And
They hung us. They hung in there for a little minute, man. They held us
they,
17 points, which 17 points, depending on who you play against, is not enough to win the game. So I'm
yeah,
so happy the defense held them to 3 points. Um, their quarterback, Byron Brown, he had a solid game. Not too much through the air, but on the ground, he had 92
yeah,
yards.
that boy
Defense
nice.
really, huh?
I said that boy he nice for real.
Oh yeah, man. He had a crazy story. I think he got shot before the season, or when he was younger or
Yeah,
something. I
yeah.
heard about.
It was a robbery gone bad or something like that.
Yeah, man. Kind of remind me of
Brian
Brian
Robinson.
Robinson Jr., former Alabama running back, he plays for the Commanders now, man. Started running back, which he had a great game this past weekend. We're gonna talk about it later. But yeah, man, he got shot before his rookie season, man. Still able to be the starter going into his rookie season, man. So I'm glad he bounced back just like Brian did, man. We did some good things. Him and Naquan Wright had 62 yards on the ground as well. So man, South Florida, one thing they can do, Florida boys can do, man, is run. So
Oh yeah,
uh,
oh yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
but you can tell the defense affected him in the passing game though. 5 sacks by the defense, one interception. The defense they caused some problems for that South Florida offense, man. So it really saved the game. So if they can continue to play like this, defensively, I know it's against a lesser team, a team who doesn't have many 5-star, 4 stars, or whatever, as we got. But anything can happen, like you said earlier. Every dog has a day. But I'm hoping that defense stays intact, stays doing the things they did against South Florida, against Ole Miss and other teams, man. Ole Miss has showed us over the years they can't beat us at home. So
Oh no, not at all.
the defense got to bring it.
For
So yeah,
sure.
man. Like we talked about a little earlier, Jalen Murrow and Ty Simpson are the 1 and 2 quarterbacks going into this weekend game and probably the remainder of the season. What's some things you think Jalen Merrill can work on to prove that he's the rightful starter?
His consistency for what that consistent to be a quarterback. You gotta have every quarterback isn't gonna be consistent, but to play at that level that you are playing it right now, and Nick Saban, he preaches on it. He wants perfection at the most high. He wants perfection. He want straight consistency on both sides of the ball. And that's one thing he needs to perform it better. And his mechanics are good. Feet work, footwork, great. Like that's the only thing that I feel like, and I feel like in like big time games, I feel like the noise get to him in big time games. And
Right.
that's the only thing that messes him up. Like block out all the noise and play your game like you know you can play your game. That's
Right.
all. That's the only thing he needs to just try to work on.
Oh yeah, man, being more consistent for sure. Um, my biggest thing for him, what I noticed against Texas a lot, he was looking at his receivers, making it obvious who he was going to next, and the defense picked up on it. They did. You know, he paid for it.
Yeah,
I know one play he was looking down. I think it was Kobe Prentice or Jacoby Brooks. Can't remember which one was it. But yeah, man, the safety came over top and picked him right off. Man, he knew exactly where he was going, and so if he can stop looking at his receivers, taking what the defense give him, especially with his leg, man. If you're gonna run and run, don't hold the ball too long, man. So if he can touch those things up, man, I can believe he can be a great quarterback. He already has a cannon for arm. He's gonna have one of the best deep balls out there, man. Him and Joe Milton, talking about those Milton Milrow boys, man. So he got a cannon for arm, bro. And so he could be one of the great quarterbacks to come out of Alabama as well, man.
oh yeah,
He's big, athletic, can do things with his feet. Honestly, probably a better runner, a better passer on the run. If being realistic, but yeah, man, I really like Jalen Merrill. I'll pray he continue to get the starting job going forward. Um, that's enough of that. Let's get into some NFL, man.
yes
Of
sir.
course, oh yeah, of course, the injury bug has hit the NFL really hard this season already. Um, of course, last week we had Aaron Rodgers go down 3 plays into him being a Jet, and
Yeah,
crazy to see, bro.
we got
Already,
Nick.
a team that really believed that they were one piece away. They got the run game going. They got the receiver defense with Sauce Gardner and C.J. Mosley and some more pieces they got on defense. Man, we're looking good, man. So getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers to play a quarterback position was supposed to be the icing on top, and it didn't work out as well. They backed to Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, former second overall pick. Um, it's not a starting quarterback. Did not do well last week in his first game. But yeah, man, the injury bug has hit the NFL hard. Just starting with that, we got some running back injuries. A lot of running backs are hurt. I think around 10. We got Nick
Yeah,
Chubb with the injury. He's out for the season. Uh,
prayers up
J.K.
to
Dobbins.
Nick. Prayers up to Nick, man. Prayers
Oh
up.
yeah, man. Nick and J.K. Man, two
Yeah,
guys who are really good running backs, especially Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is probably my 1A, 1B with Christian McCaffrey as the top running back in the running backs in the NFL. J.K. Dobbins, the guy I thought was coming into the season was going to going into the season. I thought was going to break out. I really hated for him. He went down with an Achilles injury, same injury as Aaron Rodgers. His backup, Justice Hill, messed his toe up in this past week's game. Saquon Barkley won't be playing tomorrow against the 49ers with an ankle injury. Derrick Henry got a toe injury. David Montgomery thigh injury. Jamal Williams, former touchdown leader from last year, who was supposed to be replacing AK 41 Alvin Kamara for the Saints. He's down with a hamstring injury. Austin Eckler, ankle injury. Brees Hall tweaked his knee a little bit. He tore ACL last season. And
yeah,
then my running back for my Chiefs, man, Isaiah Pacheco, um, is out right now with the hamstring injury, man. These injuries isn't helping the running backs case, man. The running backs are already trying to get paid. These owners and GM telling them no because they're some of them are injury prone. They have more access to get injured. They feel like they can replace them with two or three other guys. Their same production they can get from two or three other guys. It's just I really hate that the running backs are going through this right now, man. This is really a key position. I think if anything tells the value of the running back position, fantasy football. If these
Yeah,
guys go for 150, 200 yards, three or four touchdowns, man, you won your fantasy week just off one player. You know what I'm saying? Like we seen last year with Joe Mixon, he had 5 touchdowns. He averaged like around everybody's league, like 50 points that week in fantasy, man. So just seeing um, just that alone, as far as from a fan standpoint, especially people who watch the game, that value there. And then you want to talk about a winning, like if you have a top running back, top receiver, or whatever, 9 times 10 you have a really good team, solid quarterback, but pieces around him with a good defense. You're going to win the Super Bowl. You're going to go to the playoffs. You're going to go deep into the playoffs with all of those pieces, man. And running back is an important piece. Having a feature back, of course, it's not like it used to be in the back in the day when you had, you know, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Damian Thomas, guys like that who every down played with
yeah,
all these teams keeping two or three running backs on the roster, man, at all times. It just seems like we never will get back to the days of the feature back. And these GMs and owners are definitely devaluing these running back positions. I know for a fact the Browns could use Chubb right now. Deshaun Watson isn't playing his best right now. He doesn't look like the old Deshaun Watson from back in when he was playing for Houston. So I know for a fact like the Browns could at least use Nick Chubb. They just brought back Kareem Hunt, that backup running back from a few seasons ago. Um, they lost to the Steelers this weekend, 26-22. Um, they do
oh
have a
yeah.
backup running back at Jerome Ford. He did go over 100 yards for them. But as you can see, they don't believe he's um, the total piece. So I guess Ford and Kareem Hunt going to be the running backs going forward for the Browns.
Looking at
Huh?
the stats for the Browns, they look real decent. Offensively, they look decent enough offensively. Deshaun Watson, 22 for 40, 235 yards passing, one touchdown, one interception. Then you had Amari Cooper, seven catches for 90 yards. For the
Right.
Steelers, passing, Kyle Pickett went 15 for 30, 222 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Then Najee went 10, had 10 carries for 43 yards. Like, it,
Yeah, that's a winnable game for the Browns, man. The Steelers didn't play their best offensively. Um, the Browns, that injury really affected the game. Sean Watson
yeah,
could play a lot better. We see him do some crazy things in Houston, man. So seeing him decline like that, I hate it because I was at one point in time cheering for the Texans, man. Now he was one of my favorite quarterbacks. But
yeah,
I hate to see it. I know he had some other few issues last season. He was suspended for the first 12 games. So I mean, that should be behind him by now. Hopefully he can step it up. Maybe it's just the Brown system. It seemed like Baker Mayfield left there and got better. He went to the Rams last season. Uh, was the backup quarterback, well, the relief quarterback for Matt Stafford. Did some things, won a couple games, and then now he's what 2-0 now
Bucks.
with the Bucks, man. So maybe it's just a Cleveland thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shout out to TJ Watt for becoming the all-time Steelers all-time sack leader.
That's crazy, man. His career really just started. I mean, he been in the league 5 years, I think, 4 years
Yeah,
like that. He's already the Steelers leader. It's like I know
all-time.
it's been some great defenders on that defense, especially in that front seven. Mean Joe Green, Joey Porter, uh, those linebackers they had, in the mid 2000s, and Larry Foote,
You then had
Steve
Troy
Curry,
Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu at safety. Um, who else they had on defense back in the day?
I couldn't tell
What's
you
his
because I didn't watch the Steelers.
number 91? He was a wrestler too. What was his name, man? Kevin Green. There we go.
Oh
Kevin
yeah,
Green.
yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Green. You had guys like that. All were really good for the Steelers, man. And to know that a young guy like TJ Watt just 81 sacks. I think 81 and a half. I think it's right. That's the record.
Yeah.
81 and a half. Yeah, sacks for him.
81.6.
0.5.
It said I thought it was 0.6 when I looked at it. Hold up. Yeah, 0.5. Yeah, 81.5.
0.6. What's the next game we got up there?
Saints versus Panthers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Saints versus Panthers. Bryce Young nearly led the Panthers to a victory against the Saints, man. The Saints drove down like they did last week and to score. It seems like the Saints gonna keep it close and pull it out, man. They 2-0, and both of them are like really close wins, man.
Yeah.
I guess it's a team makeup, man. You got a decent guy at quarterback. No one who's like
Derek Carr.
super lead, not 5,000, 5,000 yard passer, 50 touchdowns, 15 interception type quarterback. This guy is pretty much a game manager. As long as you got good weapons around him, he get the job done. He was 21 to 36, 228 yards, no touchdowns. Did get picked off one time, was sacked 4 times. The offensive line got put a little better for him.
His QB rating was pretty good. 37.8 QB rating. Like Taysom Hill went 1 for 1, 8 yards.
He
And
had 75 yards on the ground. So I mean, they move the ball on the ground, but they need a little more production. I get that waiting, like I said, waiting on Alvin Kamara to come back. I can't
yeah,
wait to see what they do with him and Jamal Williams. Alvin Kamara is more of the speed back, get the ball out of the backfield, lead you in rushing and receiving. And then you got Jamal Williams, who we saw last year lead the league in touchdowns. So that 1-2 punch after Kamara's 3-game suspension over is going to be crazy. And then, of course, you got Chris Olave, former first-round pick from last season, doing his thing still. He had 6 receptions, 86 yards, and no touchdowns this past weekend. Michael Thomas still proving he still got a little bit in the tank. They got a young receiver in Shaheed who's making some clutch plays for the Saints, man. The Saints could have a good season, man. A really good season once they get all their pieces back.
Yeah, you got for the Panthers, you got Bryce Young. He went 22 for 30. He went 22 for 33, 153 yards passing, average 4.6 yards for each pass, 1 touchdown, no picks, and only to allow 4 sacks with a QB rating of 60.7. Miles Sanders, former Eagle.
Solid game. He
Yeah,
had a solid game, man. I was hoping they pulled it out. Hopefully he get his first win under his belt soon. They're already trying to talk about him being a bust possibly, and that he's not good enough to play in the NFL. I mean, he not talking interceptions. I mean, I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's throwing the ball away or anything like that. Or he's the reason why they're not winning. There's other pieces around him that can play better. O-line, when they're fully healthy and fully motivated to play, could be a really good offensive line. They drafted What that lineman name from last year? Akonwu. Uh, they tackled last season from North Carolina State, and so uh, they had a young offensive line that could be better. Certainly, they got Miles Sanders. They got from
The
uh,
Philadelphia
your
Eagles.
Eagles, man. That your squad. Um, I think he missed y'all. He hadn't played
Yeah.
great this season, man. But you see what DeAndre Swift is doing right now for the Eagles. So I mean, y'all probably don't miss him.
Oh yeah, we do. We miss him. We can use him because we. I I have faith in my team, but at the same time, I say when we push our players too hard, we get hit with the injury bug real fast. Just like we did last season, we got hit with the injury bug, massive going into games that we needed to win, and we should have won last season.
Oh yeah, man.
But you got Adam Thielen who had 7 catches for 54 yards. Average.
You got read, bro. You good?
Oh my bad. My bad.
You good? You good? I'm trying to move on to the next game.
All right. The
Tua, man,
offense.
still undefeated against the Patriots, man. The Patriots cannot seem to beat Tua. I don't know what it is. Tua got the Patriots number. He led them to victory 24-17. 21 of 30, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Was only sacked 1 time. Tua's looking really good, man. One of the early favorites for MVP. Him and Tyreek Hill, one of the top guys for MVP. They're undefeated. They're 2-0. This is more of a rounded victory. Their first game, we saw them throwing the ball all over the place with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They got a little more grounded. Raheem Moister was had 18 carries, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Tyreek Hill had the only receiving touchdown with 40 yards, and Waddle had 86 yards. I like seeing games like this from teams where we thought was one dimensional. We thought all they had was Tua and those fast receivers, but man, they showing they can do it on the ground. They showing that their defense can stop somebody. The defense had 4 sacks and one interception on Mac Jones.
Another former Alabama QB went
Right.
went 31 for 42.
They were teammates, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
teammate.
man. Oh yeah,
30.
and a forced fumble as well against the Patriot offense. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
that's crazy.
he had a good game too, man. It seems like they trusted him a lot, man. Last week he threw it 50 times. This week he threw 42 times. But not like they don't have some decent running back. They got Ramondre Stevenson, and Zeke Elliott. So man, I guess the Patriots really believe in Mac Jones, man. He's just like he's playing a good job. I'm glad to see another quarterback from Alabama play really well.
Yeah,
It's kind of been the theme of the show with the Alabama quarterback situations.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
That Patriots defense is pretty good too. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not the only thing they got is their offense. They defense is pretty well too. Kind of bend on break. Only allowed 24 points to the Miami offense. We seen him put up 40, 50 points when fully going. So holding to 24 is pretty good for them.
Yeah, there was a good game right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who we got next? Hold up, my phone died.
No, you good, bro. Commander. Yeah, we go Commanders Broncos game. Commanders beat the Broncos 35-33, man. A very high scoring game. The defense was not stopping nobody.
Oh yeah, that was a shootout game for real. That was one of probably the best games of the week for me. In my opinion, I didn't really sit down and watch games like that until that game came on. cause my Eagles was gonna be playing. So,
Right. I understand.
but yeah, I
Sam
had.
Howard played really well.
Oh yeah,
With 27 or 39, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, was sacked 4 times. Offensive line got a little better. Brian Robinson Jr., 18 rushes, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, had a big weekend from B-Rob, man. Glad to see him continue to ball out for the Washington Commanders, man. Going to be one of the best running backs here in the future, especially with all these injuries. It might just be him after a
yeah,
while as one of the top running backs. Russell Wilson was 18 for 32, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, one interception, was sacked 7 times. O-line get together, man. That's a lot of times for a quarterback to be sacked. And he was somehow the leading rusher, despite being sacked that many times, had 56 yards. Um, Marvin Mims, who they just picked up off a waiver, had 2 receptions, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. A guy who I think he played for the Jets not too long ago was probably on his way out of the league if this didn't work out for him. So glad to see him have a good game.
yeah, yeah.
I'm so ready for Jared Judy to make the next step, man. I'm just looking at the receiver stats, man, and only had 25 yards, 3 receptions, but he was one of my favorite receivers to ever come through Bama. I'm sad to see him not play as well.
He got a. He. I know he been in the lab though.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. He always been one of the best route runners in the league. I guess Bro's got to get the ball to him. All right,
Got it.
next up, we got the Cowboys versus the Jets. Cowboys win 30-10. That defense has allowed 10 points in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy, man. That defense is the truth of the Cowboys. I mean, you could say, they haven't played nobody because the Giants, of course, with Daniel Jones not being one of the better quarterbacks in the league, was probably overpaid. I kind of
Yes.
he got paid strictly off, take him to the playoffs and being a game manager type quarterback, but he got paid a little bit too much for his play. Hasn't stepped it up, and then of course the Jets with their quarterback situation, Zach Wilson back being the starter, Aaron Rodgers being out, kind of deflated that team hopes for the rest of the season. Brees Hall, like I mentioned before, went down with injury, only had 4 carries. Dalvin Cook had 4 carries, man. It didn't look good for the Jets. They were playing from behind, and so they're kind of passing the ball a little more when they could, man. They weren't on the field very long. Zach Wilson had 3 interceptions, was sacked 3 times, threw 1 touchdown, which is very surprising for him. Dak Prescott had one of his better games against the Jets, 31-38, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, was only sacked 1 time. Let's give it up to the O-line for that. Tony Pollard had 72 yards on the ground to contribute. CeeDee Lamb went off for 143 yards on 7 receptions. This is probably more than a complete game. Their first game against the Giants was all defense. This game was defense, offense, everything was clicking for the Cowboys. You think they can continue this hot streak?
Mm, all I'm gonna say is they do gotta play my team.
When the first time?
We go.
When the first time I played them?
I think if not next week, I think the week after next. Cause we play them early, and then we play them again like going towards the end of our season.
Right.
So
Look it up for me real quick. I'm trying to see when they can possibly lose. They can lose against the Eagles, but maybe they can lose before then. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I ain't
yeah,
gonna
I'm not.
say
I hate the
I'm a
Cowboys. I
big
can't stand
Cowboys
the Cowboys.
fan. I've always hated them.
My
While you look that up, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the 49ers Ram game. It was a lot closer than people thought.  30-23. 49ers pulled it out. the Rams, man, they got some young players who we didn't know much about going into the season, but now we do. Kyrie Williams, running back, um, late round pick, had 14 rushes, 50 yards, 1 touchdown, and then Puka, how you say his last name? Nakua, I think how you say his name. Had 15 receptions, 147 yards, man. In the last two games, he had like 30 receptions or whatever. I think 25 receptions or whatever it is. Most by any rookie in their first two games. So the Rams they found some late rounders um, to make up for what they lost in Cam Akers, who just got traded to who Akers just got traded to crap the Ravens.
Mm, oh,
Who the
I'm
Akers?
not sure.
They just traded Akers, Cam Akers to somebody. I can't remember right in the moment. Um, but yeah, man, they got to replace him at running back. Matt Stafford looked like he's back to his old form. He had 307 yards, 1 touchdown. He did throw 2 interceptions. Still can use those young players, those young receivers. O line could play a lot better. 49ers had a solid game from Christian McCaffrey had 116 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. Debo contributed a rushing touchdown. Uh, Brock Purdy, did his game manager thing, had 17 of 25, 206 yards. Um, yeah, man. The 49ers defense, 49ers team, especially with their defense, having Nick Bosa on that side of the ball, who just got paid. Um, it could definitely be contending for a Super Bowl right now, especially with the Chiefs possibly taking a step back with Travis Kelce's injury. Not really having a true number one receiver right now. Um, the 49ers could be a scary team when it comes to playoff time, especially in the conference championship game, Super Bowl aspirations. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
do you see them beating out the Eagles? I know you're an Eagles fan. Let's be realistic. The 49ers, they have a chance to beat the Eagles as the NFC champions.
In it, yeah. In it, they get they did give us a run for our money last year a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, I feel like they'll be besides the Eagles be that team to beat in the NFC too. They'll be that team to beat.
Right, right, right.
If CMC can stay healthy this season, yeah, they'll definitely be a good team to beat.
Oh, yeah, man. When those running backs who've been injury prone, and we've seen how the injury bug has hit the running backs this season, hopefully Christian McCaffrey, especially for my fantasy team, can stay healthy. um, the Giants got their first win of the season after losing to the Cowboys 40-0 on opening night. They beat the Cardinals 31-28. I thought the Cardinals were gonna pull it out. I was like, no, ain't no way the Cardinals gonna start the season 2-0, man.
On
Uh,
me, I was shocked at that game too, bro.
I
I
was
was
like, bro, ain't no
literally
way they starting 2-0. This is a team that's supposed to be drafting number
trash.
one, possibly getting Caleb Williams, trading Kyler Murray, whatever they were gonna do, completely rebuild that team. Uh,
Yeah.
I was like, man, they gonna start the season 2-0. Are they better than we think they are? Are they winning on purpose? I thought they were tanking. But yeah, man, Daniel Jones finally stepped up a little bit. He had 26 of 37, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, one interception, was sacked 3 times. Saquon Barkley left the game with an ankle injury. Had 63 yards and 1 touchdown before he left the game. Daniel Jones still doing it on the ground from the quarterback position. Had 59 yards and 1 touchdown. Former Tennessee receiver had two. Former Tennessee receiver Jalen Hyatt had 2 receptions, 89 yards. Darren Waller, former Raiders tight end, had 76 yards. Daniel Jones kind of spread the ball around to everybody, man. It seems like everybody got the ball. Darius Slayton got the ball. Isaiah Hodgson got involved. Saquon Barkley before leaving the game got involved. So glad to see Daniel Jones kind of spread the ball around between all his weapons. Josh Dobbs looked really good. Another Tennessee product. Josh Dobbs had 21 of 31, 228 yards, one touchdown in the game against the Giants. James Conner, a guy who we've seen battle some injuries, battle cancer, had over 100 yards and one touchdown. Glad to see him steady playing well in the NFL. Um,
Yeah.
like I said, it was one of the closer games. Two teams we don't really expect much from, but someone had to win the game, and it was a shootout. It was a dogfight toward the end. The Giants pulled it out though.
Yeah. Shout out to the Giants.
Another 2-0 team we didn't expect. The Falcons took on the Packers and beat them 25-24. Another close game. Um, I was expecting the Packers to win this game. Not really sure what happened towards the end. But Jordan Love had a solid game. Had threw three touchdown passes. Was 14 for 25. Solid game from him. Was missing Aaron Jones, another guy who's fighting injury right now. So they had to start A.J. Dillon, who had 55 yards on the ground. Still missing Christian Watson at receiver. No receiver went over 100 yards. Went over 50 yards. But you can tell he missed Christian Watson a lot, man. Guy who they developed chemistry with. Two rookie players last season who they developed that chemistry in that certain time that Jordan Love played. Certainly missed him right now. We're going to see how that season panned out. Bijan Robinson broke out for the 49ers. The Falcons this past weekend with 124 yards on the ground. Is it Bijan's Offensive Rookie of the Year award to lose, or is there someone that you can see replace him as the Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Mm, no,
It seems like
no.
going the season, Bijan was the odds-on favorite, and I like you right now. It's him for me. It's him and Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is balling out too up there in Minnesota, despite playing with Jay Jettis.
Yeah, I say B John right now, he definitely my favorite to win it this year.
Okay. Desmond Ritter had a solid night too. Was 19-32, 207, 37 yard, one touchdown, one interception. Was on the sack one time. So the clap up for O line. The O line is starting to get it together. Jay London had one touchdown. One of my favorite receivers coming into the last year's draft. I'm glad to see him still be successful. Mm-hmm. All right. Chief Jaguars, a very low scoring game, surprisingly, especially with the caliber of quarterback they got and the talent each quarterback has around them. Patrick Mahomes was 29 of 41, 305 yards, two touchdowns, one interception, was sacked one time, which is so much better than what the O-line had done the first week. Isaiah Pacheco had 7 yards on the ground. This is a very low scoring game, surprisingly. Two teams I thought could put a lot of points up this season. They have a lot of firepower, especially the Jaguars, man. Their receiving core with Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, former Bama receiver, Evan Ingram. I definitely thought going into the season they were going to ball out.
Oh yeah. Uh
That first week they did really well. I will give them that. That first week they killed it.
yeah, they did, they did.
Trevor Lawrence was 22 of 41, 216 yards, was sacked 4 times. O-line need to protect him a little more, man, especially against the Chief defense who just started to get acclimated to each other again with Chris Jones being back in the lineup, who had a couple sacks. I'm glad my Chiefs are balling out right now. Hopefully we can get a big time trade, man. Maybe a Stephon Diggs in the first round pick could be something. be addressed later on in the season, or maybe another receiver becomes unhappy with his team, his touches. But we definitely need a number one receiver. Kadarius Toney is not the guy yet. Scott Moore isn't there yet. He's a great complimentary piece, but we definitely need a number one receiver, especially with Travis Kelsey. Health right now isn't the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Um,
And it's a couple of receivers I can see fitting in with the Chiefs too. It's a couple. It's a good couple that will go can go with the offense that Andy Reid has, and can actually be that valuable weapon for Patrick Mahomes too at the same time.
right.
Stephon, like you said, Stephon Diggs, he can be one. Hell, even Devontae Adams, if he gets unhappy with the Raiders, can come on down to the
Right.
Chiefs. Like
Mm-hmm.
even though, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest Chief fan. I'm not the biggest Chief fan, but if they will help, I say those two players, in my opinion, can probably elevate their wide receiver room. They can do something with their wide receiver room, and Patrick can turn it around with those type of players.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of the players on that team is still really young. Besides, Travis Kelsey, uh, Pat, he been in the league for a good minute, but like that team is still pretty young, and a lot of those guys are still trying to develop their game more. So just get some more veteran power on that team and on their offense, especially the offense. You get some more veteran power on the offense, then who knows? Hey, it might not be their year this year, but like I said, anything can happen.
Right. All right. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks defeating the Detroit Lions 37-31. Geno Smith with 32 of 41, two touchdowns, no interceptions. Um, DK Metcalf led receivers with 75 yards, six catches. Tyler Lockett had eight catches, 59 yards, two touchdowns. One of my fantasy football superstars. Let it have him ball out for me this weekend. Uh, the Lions played pretty well as well. Jared Goff was 28 for 35, 323 yards, three touchdowns, one interception. David Montgomery, before getting hurt, was 16 for 67, one touchdown. Had a pretty good night. Amon St. Brown had 102 yards through the air. Josh Reynolds had two touchdowns on the night. Uh, the game with the overtime, man. The guys they went back and forth. The Seattle Seahawks finally drove down and scored on a game winning drive. One, like I said, this weekend was loaded with games that were really close. A lot of middle of the pack teams, lower teams. We didn't expect much, but close games like this kind of build camaraderie in the locker room. Maybe make you believe you can do anything. If you can pull out these close games, just imagine these games that you're leading in. You got more confidence, and going into these late game situations, you can pull these games out. So I'm ready for playoff time. Honestly, man,
Oh yeah,
everybody's gonna get some
oh yeah,
good playoff games if the season going like this.
for sure, for sure.
All right. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Tennessee Titans. Another game went into overtime. The Tennessee Titans pulled it out 27-24. Um, Ryan Tannehill played much better than he did. Week 1 with 20 of 24, 246 yards, one touchdown, was sacked 5 times, which is unacceptable. Um, Derrick Henry had 79 yards, one touchdown on the ground.
Mm.
I was hoping the Chargers pulled it out, man. The Chargers one of the teams that I occasionally cheer for. It might be the only team in our division that I might cheer for. I like Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, a couple of their players, Derwin James on the defense, who I like. Some of my favorite players are on that team. So I would, if I had to choose a team in my division to cheer for, it would be the Chargers. Forget the Raiders, forget the Broncos. I do like some of the Bronco players because they did go to Bama, Judy and Sertan, but Chargers definitely one of those teams.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They have slept on team. They just got to find their stride.
Oh yeah, man. Um, Keenan Allen had 8 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns to lead our receivers. Austin Eckler did not play this game at all. They found no run game whatsoever, which is probably the reason why this game was so close. Man, they really couldn't really get much going. It was very one dimensional. Luckily, Justin Herbert was able to deliver the ball the way he did. It could have been way worse. Um, when your run game's not going and you become one dimensional and you just throwing the ball all over the place, it's a recipe for a lot of mistakes. So,
Yeah.
all right, another individual rivalry game. The Colts versus the Texans. The Texans lose 31-20. CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback, who they drafted out of Ohio State, looked pretty well with 30 for 41, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Was sacked 6 times. Another theme of the show. Um, uh, Looking at these quarterbacks getting sacked the way they are, man, you got to take these quarterbacks. Of course, you're not going to win any games with the quarterback going down 4 or 5 times, if not more, each game. Nico Collins had 146 yards on 7 receptions, 1 touchdown. Robert Woods, 74 yards. Rookie Tank Dell out of Houston had 72 yards and 1 touchdown. Um, so they're building a receiver room for CJ Stroud to go forward with. So once they get the offensive line together, that Houston team could be better in a couple years.
Oh yeah. They gonna get there. They believe it or not. I'm gonna say a sleeper team that I say I'll root for will be the Texans for right now. They'll be a sleeper team that I'll root for too because I see the promise in it right now, and they are in the rebuilding stage. Like they got John Mitchell who just came back. Uh, they got they have weapons on the wide receiver core. They have weapons, and then you got running games. You get your running game going, like everything will come together, and then you have Will Anderson on defense too. Like he can get your defense going at any moment, at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have the weapons and they find their stride. Like CJ Stroud, he get his Ohio State mentality and make it come back. Like hey, they'll be my team in the AOC that I root for.
Oh yeah, man. The Colts played pretty well despite losing their starting quarterback Anthony Richardson, who before exiting the game was 6 for 10, 56 yards, 35 yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. Um, Once he comes back, I can see him being like a cam figure for them. Able to
Yeah,
run the ball, design runs, plays, passing plays with him moving on his feet, a lot of boots and play action,
RPO play.
RPOs. Yeah, man, a lot of those opportunities like that. His backup Gunner Minshew was 19 for 30, 23, 1 touchdown, 171 yards. Zach Moss,
Another another former Eagles player.
yep. Uh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Freaking couple seasons ago, before Jalen was the true starter after he beat Carson Wentz and they signed Garner Minshew, I was like, man, Jalen ain't never gonna play, bro, because Minshew had just played at a decent season for the Jaguars, remember?
Yeah,
And so I was like, damn, man, ain't never gonna build around Jalen. Jalen ain't never gonna start for them. I hate this shit, bro. And then they traded for AJ Brown. Uh, Hurst was a starter. I was like, yes, man. I'm so happy for them, man. So that hot take I had did on the radio station about them not building around uh, Jalen Hurts, I definitely ate that, man. I'm definitely regret saying it. The Eagles definitely putting a team around him with them receivers, the running backs, that defense. Salute to the Eagles front office for building around just for Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um, who's y'all play? Who's y'all play this weekend? I think we talked about him here, right? Y'all play the Vikings. Uh, the Vikings lost to the Eagles 34-28. Let me wait till my guest come back. Hang on one second. He's a big Eagles fan. Mm.
My
Yo,
bad, bro. My bad. My bad. I had lost connection. My bad. I'm sorry.
no, you good?
But yeah.
I'm talking about the what's the name now? The Eagles game.
Oh. Man. I'm proud of my boy. We came together, both sides of the ball. Vikings. They gave us a dog fight. They gave us a good dog fight. A game that we needed and needed to go and get out the way. There was a good game between uh two possible MVPs for this year. You have Jalen Hurts on one side, and then on the other side you got Jetta on the other side. Who
Oh yeah,
can they could both possibly be in the MVP run again this year? Like both of them are dogs. Like you can't picture a better game and a better moment for that game. So like,
oh
hey,
yeah.
I really don't have too much to say on that game, but hey, that was like that was probably the perfect game that we both played on both sides of the ball for both teams. And
Yeah, I
hey,
think what
shot,
it did it for y'all though, honestly, with the run game, man, you had
yeah,
155 yards from DeAndre Swift. Hurst had 2 touchdowns. Boston Scott added 40 yards himself. So we're looking at nearly 300 yards on the ground for the Eagles, man. A team we know for a fact between their running backs and their quarterback can definitely put the ball on the ground and run uh, downhill.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
Devontae Smith had a solid game. He had 131 yards, 1 touchdown on just 4 receptions. You talked about Jay Jettis. He had 159 yards, 11 receptions. The guy who I think that could uh, oversee Bijan Robinson is rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, Jordan Addison had 72 yards, 1 touchdown. My fantasy tight end across all my leagues, TJ Hawkinson added 2 touchdowns, which helped me win my fantasy weekend. So I'm happy for that. Kirk Cousins with 31 for 44, 4 touchdowns. Uh, they that's who Cam Akers got traded to. I just remember Cam Akers got traded to the Vikings because they haven't got their run game going yet.
oh, okay,
Madison,
okay.
Madison is looking too well right now. They probably should have kept Dalvin Cook,
Yeah.
but they lost the Jets game. So, um, oh well.
Our
Um,
next game we play, I think the Commanders. Our next game.
okay, yeah. Hey, the Commanders, look out for them, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's a game that we lost last year on some fugazi shit. But this year, I feel this year we ready. We ready. We know what we need to prepare on and we need to work on. So I feel like my boys are ready for this game.
Oh yeah, man. Last 3 games we got to talk about. We're gonna talk about them real quick. The Buccaneers beat the Bears 27-17. Wasn't Justin Fields' best game. Um, he
What?
hasn't adjusted to being an NFL quarterback just yet. You say what?
I was finna say, what game hasn't been his best game?
I mean, we seen some flashes last season. O line did not protecting him. He's was probably one of the better running quarterbacks. If that's
Yeah, yeah,
positive to think about. I think he ran over 1,000 yards last season. But yeah, man, Justin Fields isn't looking good in Chicago right now. They gave him pieces. They picked up DJ Moore by trading the first overall pick to the Panthers for Bryce Young. They got Darrell Mooney, who's a solid number 2 receiver. Chase Claypool is a solid receiver. You got Khalil Herbert out of the backfield. Like they got some pieces, man. I know the offensive line isn't that great right now, but he got some pieces to throw the ball to. I don't understand why he hasn't adjusted to the NFL yet. But maybe he needs to change the scenery. Maybe Chicago isn't the place he's supposed to, spread his wings
yeah,
off spread the wings with and prosper with. Maybe it's somewhere. Uh, Maybe we'll see in the future where he just it happens with Chicago. But for the Buccaneers, surprisingly 2-0. Baker Mayfield is balling out for them right now. Has a great rapport with Mike Evans and those receivers already. Hopefully they get the run game going with Rasheed White. Um, but yeah, man, they looking really good. The Bills are 1-1 after beating the Raiders 39-10. Josh Allen got a comeback game after playing pretty bad in the first week. Stephon Diggs balled out as he normally does. The Raiders are looking good right now. Devontae Adams, like we mentioned earlier, doesn't look too happy right now with the way things going in Las Vegas. I'm sure he wants to play with a comfortable quarterback other than Jimmy Garoppolo. His boy Derek Carr is now in New Orleans. We'll see how that plays out by the end of the season. Hey, if you want to be a Chief, man, come on to Kansas City, Devontae Adams. We're glad to take you.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I can really see him fitting in with the offense, and especially the jet sweep game that the Chiefs have. Like he'll be a good addition to that. He'll be a great addition to it. Wildcat formation, all this stuff. Like he'll be a good addition to it.
Mm-hmm. Um, Last game we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. Joe Burrow is not off to his best season. I don't know. They're 0-2. Both games were individual rivalry games. This is a game we saw the first game without J.K. Dobbins for the Ravens. They did go over 100 yards rushing between Gus Edwards, Lamar Jackson, Justice Hill, who went out this game as well. Um, Lamar Jackson was 24 for 33, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. OBJ went down. Like I said, the injury bug has hit the NFL hard, man. Sad to see Odell Beckham go down like he did. He has had a lot of injuries over his career, and we see how that affected his game. Joe Burrow had 27 and 41, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, one interception, was sacked one time. The O-line is getting a little better.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is showing that they need him more than they think they do. They came out and said that they might not be resigning him. He's balled out though. Had 8 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Whoever pick up T. Higgins in the offseason is getting a baller, man. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
look out for T. Higgins in free agency this season. Wherever he decides to go, is getting a real good receiver. Is a number one on any other team. I know Jamar Chase is Joe Burrow's boy. Uh, I don't know. Maybe things don't work out in Minnesota for Jay Jettas, and he come join Chase and Burrow in Cincinnati.
Ooh,
LSU
Dub.
all over
Ooh.
again, boy.
I'm trying to tell you.
2019 LSU. But that is all the games we have for y'all tonight, man. It was great talking to my boy TK about Bama football and NFL football. Please follow us both on all our social media sites we mentioned earlier. Titletown TV _KC. On social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. Run my TikTok up, man. Start getting a little more consistent on TikTok. Going to start, talking a little more football and wrestling on TikTok here soon. So yeah, man, please be on the lookout for that. Please be on the lookout for all the Titletown TV programs. BMT, Black Man Talk, Sports Talk with KC each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Titletown Wrestling, a show that features TK Jackson as well, where we talk about all things WWE, AEW, all the great indie promotions out there. We talk about all that good stuff. LOL Comedy Hour. Be on the lookout for that. Lamar Pullen will be back with that. I don't want to call him Lamar Jackson. I'm tripping. My boy Lamar Pullen will be back with y'all with that here soon. So be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, like, share, and subscribe to Titletown TV on YouTube and Facebook. Follow us on Spotify, Apple. Where you can find today's episode as well as previous episodes of Sports Talk with KC, Titletown Wrestling. Start the stuff out, TK.
Hey man, like in the beginning, like I said in the beginning, go follow me on Twitch and YouTube. I will be going live tomorrow on YouTube. Tomorrow we'll be doing a full Fortnite stream tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Comment, like, share. Let me know that y'all are supporting, man. We need it. It's a Black Boy Joy movement right now, man. Let's do it, man. Let's go.
Oh yeah, man. Glad to see my black men doing great things, being great fathers, being great individuals in the community, doing a great job in their regular jobs, their side hustles, streaming, businesses, small businesses, large businesses. Black Boy Joy is the way to go, man. Black men deserve to live a long time. It's all that good stuff, man. We'll see y'all again probably tomorrow with some wrestling stuff. We got to get that together and have some content for you guys. Please be on the lookout for Black Men Talk on Tuesday at 7:30 from Lamar Pullen's page. And that's all we got for you guys tonight, man.